Afternoon, folks. Thanks very much for watching. Today we're going to see how things shaping up for autumn across the United Kingdom. Would you believe it? We're going to see how things shaping up in terms of seasonal models for autumn. And now, of course, seasonal forecasting, I should say, is very unreliable, especially this far out. So it's important that you keep coming back to the website, keep coming back, checking the update seasonal forecast page to keep up to date on the regular forecast. As we go through towards the end of the season and towards the end of summer, and we look more at autumn, the forecast will change and changes what the forecast always does. So thanks very much for watching. Don't forget to tell your friends about Casting the Watch if you like all sorts of stuff. I should stop one on now and get on with the forecast. This is the forecast from the Metaverse model for September, October, and also November, and it was issued this June, so it's the most up-to-date issue from the Metaverse model, and it's going for a near normal to just slightly below normal month across many parts of the UK. And notice you've got this higher than normal pressure across the northwest of the UK, and this lower than normal pressure across parts of Europe. This indicates an easterly flow, so cooler conditions indicated from the Metaverse model. But notice all this above average temperature across many parts of the through the polar regions, and this would indicate all the cooler air can be shunted downwards through into the latitudes. You can see it there, look, and you can also see it through parts of Eastern Asia too. Notice these cooler conditions into the mid latitudes, that's because of the NAO to a negative, or forecast of the NAO being negative, and of course the AO, the Arctic Oscillation, being negative through the September, October, and also November period from the Metaverse seasonal forecast. And just looking at the Metaverse model forecast for the autumn period for 500 HPA, so 500 millibar, again the areas of high pressure are indicated by the oranges, and areas of low pressure are indicated by the greens and also the blues. And again you can see there's an anomalous area of cooler air, of low pressure, one there, and one for eastern parts of Europe, interestingly, and one for eastern parts of Asia too. So this idea of a negative AO indicated from the Metaverse model, and across the UK, well, above average pressure, but through a season you never get continuous above average pressure. It's always changeable, but the overall trend would be towards dry conditions and slightly normal. This was the outcome from the Metaverse model for the summer, for the autumn period. And looking at the CFS version 2, well, the reason I've got the CFS version 2 is because the CFS version 1 was discontinued last June. So now I've got the CFS version 2, and boy oh boy is it unreliable. It changes its forecast daily, so it's very unreliable model to use, but sometimes it can be interesting to pick out trends of what the CFS version 2 is consistently saying, but as I say, it's very unreliable forecasting long-range model. And looking at what's happening across the British Isles, we've got this trough look across the just off the eastern seaboard, and this westerly flow over the country. Look, with the conditions near normal across the UK. This is going for a near normal autumn if the CFS version 2 was correct in its predictions. And when you look at the CFS version 2 predictions for 2-minute temperature, well, there isn't much to write home about here. Near normal temperatures through the whole of Europe, or just about the whole of Europe. The only places that are really indicating above normal or anomalous temperature is through Iceland and through parts of the polar regions too. Warmer conditions here, interestingly, because of high pressure across this area, so this may lead an easterly flow over the country, but there's not much here to go on here. It's fairly near normal. That's what you would expect with a westerly flow indicated from the CFS version 2 for the autumn period. And looking at the Jamstack IOD, this is focused on the Jamstack IOD for September, October, November for temperature at 2 meters, so surface temperature. What you would expect at the temperature at the surface. Again, it's very unreliable, but it's good to pick out trends of what the Jamstack IOD gives out in its monthly predictions or its monthly updates. And it's good to see where they're going, because you can then start to build an idea of how things may shape up through the autumn period. And you can see through many parts of Central Europe, it's above average temperature, look, stretching through eastern parts of the UK as well. And this trough of low pressure, look, with cool conditions through western parts of the UK and Spain too, indicating you've got low pressure displaced from the Azores and high pressure across many parts of Central Europe. This indicates that the southeasterly flow. Temperatures near normal to start off with, but then cooling as we go through towards the end of the season, indicated from the Jamstack IOD. And finally today, looking at the forecast from the Brazilian atmospheric model. Well, with this model, it's going for, again, it's going for 500 HPA prediction. And with this model, it's going for slightly early period. It's going for August, September, and also October. And the interesting thing here is area of low pressure. And by the way, I should mention that low pressure predictions are indicated by the purples and also the reds. And the high pressure predictions are indicated by the blue. So a different sort of scenario, a different sort of principle from this model. But then again, it's going for low pressure across many parts of Central Europe. This would indicate that a wetter month and cooler too for many parts of the country. So not a fantastic update from the long-range Brazilian atmospheric model if you're looking for a warm and also for a dry autumn. So thanks very much for watching it. Let's give you a good overview as to where things are going through the autumn period from the later season malls. There'll be much more coming up on the final water forecast. There'll be many more updates on autumn, looking at sea surface temperature, loads more sort of data, and then we'll be compiling our final forecast for autumn. So come back for that one at the very end of the summer season, going through to the start of autumn. That'll be released from around the 20th of August to the 10th of September. So tune in for that one. So overall, not a fantastic update today. It looks as though high pressure is starting to become set up somewhere, but the long range models are trying to go for more western, so it's hard to talk about this one today. A very displaced sort of organisation. It looks like we could see a southerly tracking jet stream from today's update models, with NO possibly going through towards negative, but then again, lots of models going for areas of high pressure setting up across many parts of Europe. So I'm starting to think, is it that we're going to see this area of high pressure setting up somewhere across Europe, moving around, and then we try and see this undercutting south of the low pressure with negative NO? I don't know. Obviously, keep up to date right here. And this is just a look ahead to see how things are shaping up for autumn. The final autumn forecast will be released on the start of September. Don't forget to watch that one. If you want to find out what my predictions were for summer, don't forget to check out the summer forecast on the seasonal updates page just below this video. And you can find previous seasonal forecast videos as well. See how they verified. If you want to see if I'm a reliable forecaster, if you want to see that, you can just go to the bottom of this page to view all the forecasts. So thanks very much for watching, and see you later.